Welcome back to the CryptoFather channel. Today is the 6th of August. Some interesting news for Litecoin are about to be exposed to you on this channel. Updates from the Trump administration in regards to the replacement for the Fed, Jerome Powell, and a bunch of other stuff on Ethereum, Bitcoin, and whatever else. So make sure to smash the likes on this video, subscribe to the channel, pick up a Descent wallet because they're on discount. As always, $30 discount on one, $99 discounts on two. Don't forget to pick up your very own copy of Crypto and Millennials. It's available for pre-order right now. 188 pages full of information. And right now, let's kick off the day with, or the morning rather, with a look at CoinGecko and the markets. It's presently sitting at $3.7 trillion, $127 billion in trading volume. Bitcoin at $113,000 price tag. Not looking very great. Ethereum $3,500, BNB $750, Solana $163, Cardano at 72 cents. The interesting thing happened on Litecoin. Litecoin had a massive pump. Look at Litecoin, $120. It had a 12% pump on 7 days, I believe. And what the reason for that is, we'll get into that in just a second. Quick look at the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin has tumbled well below $112, touched the line of $111,000, and then formed two green candles, which were then followed by a massive red candle back down to below $112,000. So right now we are sitting here with Bitcoin. Where it's going to go, not sure. I'm going to flick on a fan because it's bloody hot in this room. So if you hear a bit of a sound, that's the fan. Don't mind it. So what's happening with Litecoin? May Pharma chooses not Bitcoin, not Ethereum, but Litecoin as a treasury asset. May Pharma has decided to pick up a whack of Litecoin. They have acquired 929,548 Litecoin tokens, or coins rather, becoming the first US listed public company to adopt Litecoin as its primary treasury reserve asset. I guess that was bound to happen. And now it's just a matter of time to see which next top 10 coin will become a treasury asset. We've got Bitcoin, has been adopted by several companies, obviously. Ethereum now, Solana has, and now Litecoin. I guess the next one would be Cardano. I could see Cardano being the next announcement as being the next treasury reserve, although there are some reservations in that regard. Stellar Lumens is getting its time in the limelight as well, and BNB has also been adopted as a treasury asset for a company. For a select company. Litecoin rallies after May Pharma adds first batch of Litecoin tokens to balance sheet. So this is the first batch. It's not the only purchase, and it's almost 1 million Litecoin already. May Pharma announced the purchase of almost 1 million Litecoin at an average of $107 per Litecoin, and this helped Litecoin rally to $128. Presently, Litecoin is sitting at $120. Because some people probably took profits. As previously reported by Cryptopolitan, May Pharma set out to build 100 million Litecoin treasuries, which is what they've done. So this million, or close to 1 million Litecoin is basically 100 million, a little bit over $100 million. So this is it. It says first batch, but I guess they're hoping to add more. Litecoin trading volume also recovered to a 1-month high, rising above 1.7 billion. The recent activity once again raised the question of Litecoin's future, not as a forgotten asset, but as a reliable treasury token. And of course, as it goes with all the other tokens as well, with all the assets that have been placed on the treasury list by different companies, I assume that we're going to see another treasury company or another company trying to build a treasury reserve in Litecoin. So we're probably going to see more Litecoin being scooped up by another company, or quite possibly by May Pharma as well, because once you start, you can't stop. So this is the news for Litecoin. That's why Litecoin is pumping today, or has been since yesterday. BlackRock leads US spot ETH ETFs record 465 million one-day bloodbath. Investors yanked a staggering 465 million from spot Ethereum exchange-traded funds on Monday, marking the biggest one-day outflow since the cohort's debut last year. According to a recent report by Standard Chartered, corporations are now acquiring ETH at twice the rate of Bitcoin. Since the start of June, crypto treasury firms have scooped up approximately 1% of Ethereum's total circulating supply, suggesting a growing institutional appetite for the second largest cryptocurrency. Bitmain aims to control 5% of Ethereum, launched its strategy earlier this month. The Nasdaq-listed company said that it has achieved its 833,000 ETH stockpile in just 35 days. And here's what's stopping Ethereum next all-time high. And basically the thing that's stopping Ethereum from breaking about 4,000 is not TA, none of that nonsense. It's basically acquisition. The more Ethereum is bought out, the higher the price goes. So the more companies pile up into Ethereum, the more Ethereum is being bought, the higher the price will go. Bitcoin on cusp of entering euphoria phase as bulletproof bull market expands, says on-chain analyst. We got to be careful about Bitcoin. And here's the reason why. So I don't know if you remember, but so planb released a video yesterday, an update video in which he talks about Bitcoin reaching 300,000 by the end of 2026. Now, as much as I appreciate his work and the work that he puts into his channel and the predictions, you gotta think back to 2021. In 2021, planb was predicting a $100,000 Bitcoin, and his predictions did not really come to fruition. I was part of the crowd who were hoping for a $100,000 Bitcoin, which never solidified, which caused me to sit through yet another bear market. And right now, planb is calling for Bitcoin reaching $100,000 or $300,000 by the end of 2026. So in his mind, in his view, there will not be a bear market. The bear market is supposed to start sometime this year. This is the last year for the bull market for this cycle, and both him and Michael Saylor, Michael Saylor in particular, are promoting the idea that there will not be a bear market, that there will not be a crypto winter. And I would be very, very careful, very cautious of that, because that might lead people to basically missing out on the gains, which may most likely come towards the end of this year, sometime in November, December, just like 3-4 months away from today. And a lot of people are going to get wrecked, I think. So this is a cautionary note. I believe Bitcoin is going to pump, yes, and I think we may see a topping of Bitcoin at 100, maybe 170, maybe a little bit more. Who knows? Maybe if we don't break above it, we might not see it go past 120. Although we should probably see it go a little bit further than that, but I don't think that it's going to continue into the year 2026. From the past 4 cycles, since 2009, we've had the 4-cycle theory that was very stable and very productive for many people. And so now the presumption is that Bitcoin is just going to skirt along this top line here and continue upwards, that it's not going to retrace all the way back down to these levels of $64,000. I think Bitcoin would have to have a massive pump in order to maybe remain above the $120,000 levels and not retrace back down to its level of moneymaker of $60,000 or $50,000. I think it costs something like $50,000 or $60,000 right now to produce one Bitcoin. Be very, very careful about what planb is pushing, the idea that planb is trying to push, as well as Michael Saylor, that there will not be a bear market, because that might leave you hanging through yet another bear market. Bitcoin legend Adam Back says Bitcoin is going to a 200 trillion market cap. That's 100x from current prices. And while this may be true, he does not, at least not in here, there is no specific time frame. We're not going to listen to his talk. This is a minute and 40 seconds, whatever. We know what the headline is. So yeah, I could see that happening. Sure, why not? But it's not going to happen this cycle. In this cycle, we're looking a couple of decades ahead, maybe by 2000, probably not even by 2030. We're probably looking at like 2040 or way in the future. So when you see headlines like that, get excited, but don't get too excited. Get excited for the future of your children, quite possibly, and start stashing Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies that are on the top list. Don't stay away from the shitcoins, because I see people post stuff talking about shitcoins losing money on this weird meme coin or that weird meme coin, and they're surprised that they're losing money. Don't put your money into meme coins when you have no money to lose. Yesterday I was talking about base layer outperforming Solana in daily token launches, and here's an article listing how that is happening. On July 27th, Base saw a record 54,341 tokens launched in a single day. Now, I'm not sure which is more than twice the number of Solana's 25,460 tokens. This rapid rise is attributed mainly to the integration of Zora and Farcaster into a Base app. This move appears to have significantly boosted user engagement and token creation activity. And I think this is a reference to the tokens that are being made on platforms like Pump Fund, because that's all on Solana. So that's a lot of just meme coins and shit tokens that are being created. So it's nice that Base is seeing a massive boost, that is, you know, a lot of tokens are being created on the Base layer. But what's the value of these tokens? It just means that there is a massive user base, but the value of what is being created is questionable. Most of these people see Base most likely as a new playground to start scamming more people by creating more shit coins, more shit tokens that will then be rug pulled from other people. Base has also emerged as the most profitable layer 2 network after averaging 185,000 in daily revenue over the past 6 months. It has far surpassed Arbitrum's $55,000 and it combines 46,000 from 14 other top layer 2s. So another contender emerging, that's Base, another contender to Ethereum and Solana. Brazil has come out and made an interesting announcement. Brazil's lower house to hold hearing on creating national Bitcoin reserve. If a bill to create a Bitcoin reserve passes in Brazil's House of Representatives, it will require Senate approval before being signed into law or voted by the country's president. And it's probably going to happen. It's just a matter of time of when. So this is another reason why Bitcoin is going to pump over a long period of time. But again, be careful of the talks of, you know, 200 trillion market cap for Bitcoin or $300,000 Bitcoin price tags by 2026. These are numbers that I'd be very, very careful of. Billionaire Ray Dalio says government money printing could lead to new gold-backed currency era. The US dollar used to be backed by gold, and it's not far-fetched to think we may be heading back there again in the future, because the value of the dollar is going to drop down so drastically when we're talking about a possible 75% basis point rate cut starting September until the end of this year, which means that there would be probably a lot more money printing and, you know, increase in devaluation of the US dollar, which is what Dalio is talking about, which is going to be great for risk assets, but not so great for the average, you know, for general customers, for prices, and for overall living expenses. Is Cardano the next big ETF play? Why ADA might be the sleeper of 2025? Cardano is now officially a mature blockchain, clearing a major hurdle for a potential US spot ETF. ETF approval odds for early 2025 are high, with institutional interest in product development reportedly underway. The midnight sidechain governance upgrades and ecosystem growth could combine with ETF momentum to drive ADA toward the $10 mark. Now that's a nice price tag. We've had a $3 price tag for ADA already. If you look at the charts, ADA topped out at $3.10 back in 2021. So seeing ADA go all the way to $10 would be sweet. That is a massive pump. But I mean, to see ADA go to this price tag would be sweet. Anything beyond that would be phenomenal. Obviously, clearly, I'm an ADA holder. Between newly passed crypto legislation, institutional interest, and the launch of Cardano's powerful midnight sidechain, the momentum is building. This isn't just retail buzz anymore. It's policy-aligned, fund-friendly, and technically ready. The only thing missing is the spark. Here's why Cardano might be the most underpriced ETF play on the market right now. Cardano was officially named a mature blockchain in Trump's recently signed Clarity Act. That puts it in the same category as Bitcoin and Ethereum, recognized for its decentralization, transparency, and governance. In short, ADA isn't a security, it's a commodity. That's a massive deal because it means the SEC has no reason to block an ETF based on Cardano anymore. The CFTC would take oversight, which historically has been a lot friendlier to the crypto space, and Cardano didn't land that title by accident. It checks all the right boxes: fully decentralized staking through Ouroboros, and on-chain governance roadmap through the Voltaire phase, and no central entity controlling the majority of supply, unlike BNB or even Solana, which still struggle with centralization FUD. Cardano fits what US lawmakers now want to see in a crypto network. I think it's just a matter of time before some company jumps up and begins to adopt Cardano as a treasury asset. Bottom line, this label might be the key that unlocks institutional access to the Cardano ecosystem. After Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs cleared the regulatory maze, the SEC now has a blueprint. Add in Cardano's mature blockchain status, and it's clear that the path is wide and open. And so it wouldn't be a surprise if the SEC allowed approved Cardano ETFs without any delays. According to the Polymarket odds, the probability of Cardano ETF by early 2025 has been hovering above 70%, climbing as legislative clarity sets in. And Charles Hoskin apparently is consulting with DC policymakers behind closed doors. Multiple analysts, including folks from Vanek and Matrix Port, are projecting a run to $3 to $10 by the end of 2025. 3 should be a given if we were going to break the all-time high, and obviously $10 would be the top game for Cardano. And some news on James Howells. I don't know if you remember James Howells. He's the guy who lost a hard drive with 8,000 Bitcoin, and that he tossed it, or somebody threw it out into a landfill. And for the past 10 years, he's been trying to recover that thing and given up essentially. But now, apparently, he's trying to tokenize it, which seems a bit far-fetched. The ultimate vault. With the door to excavation closed, Howell is pivoting once again. Rather than recover the 8,000 Bitcoin buried in a landfill, Howells told Cointelegraph he plans to launch a DeFi-focused Layer 2 network built on Bitcoin. The token will not be backed by spendable Bitcoin, but by the idea of the lost coins, making the lost hard drive a symbolic vault. We won't need to access the 8,000 Bitcoin wallet because the new token is a representation of it. That's the whole point. The landfill becomes a vault no one can open, but everyone can see. I'm not sure that this is going to fly. Would you invest into something like that? You'd have to multiply the very low chance of recovering the Bitcoin by the low chance the token would be recognized as a valid claim, and then by the high value of the Bitcoin. That leaves some residual value. But that's not what it will trade on. It will trade on narrative. He said it's better viewed as a meme coin than a real investment, basically. I guess, I mean, if at some point he did manage to recover the drive and you were invested in his coin, then you would be probably eligible for a part of or cut of that Bitcoin. You know, it's a shot in the dark, basically. And last announcement here, just in, 60% of Strategy's Bitcoin holdings were acquired after President Trump's election. It's almost like Saylor is relying solely on what Trump's presidency has brought to the table for cryptocurrencies. Despite all the other problems and all the other questionable decisions that Trump is making, there is some really good stuff happening for cryptocurrencies. And it seems like Taylor is riding Trump's coattail on that front. All of that happening in the crypto world. Once again, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for listening to all I had to say. Make sure to smash the like, subscribe to the channel, pick up a Descent wallet. Don't be left with a trade ogre scenario. Stash your crypto on the Descent wallet. You get a $30 discount with the ref link below the video, and a $99 discount if you purchase 2 of them. Same ref link below the video. Don't forget to pick up your very own copy of Crypto and Millennials, because that's going to open your eyes onto the world and of crypto and explain to you, give you a lot of inside information on what crypto is. It's full of information, 188 pages of info. It's only $11, so no sweat off your back. It's definitely going to provide you with a lot of informative reading material. So get that right now. It's going to be available September 1st. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a fantastic hump day. Today is Wednesday, so I'll see you tomorrow on Thursday. Peace.